Okay, I believe we are live. So, don't know if anyone's here, but I'm going to talk like they are. And this is going to be clunky and awkward, and because this is just a trial. The only truly crappy part is that we don't have like a live chat feature for this for now. I'll get there on YouTube, or they'll roll out the Patreon live thing, which that's the ideal one, but if not, I'll get up to 50 subscribers and I'll be able to go live on YouTube. Yeah, so I'm actually going to pull up Patreon on here on my laptop. Let's see if I can get this to be set up nicely. Hopefully you can hear me too. Like, let me know in the comments here under. So if you click the link to be here and be seeing this, that post on Patreon, use those comments as a way to chat with me during this. That's the best solution I could come up with for the moment. And let's see, yeah, I'll just do it like that. Let's see. Okay. We are live. Can you see and hear me? All right, so I have my pedal board going straight into my little interface, which is going into the recording software Studio One that I use to record this stuff on my laptop. And then I just have my little Black Star amp, you can see here, as my monitor, because that's another thing, is this will all be stereo recorded, but I only have a mono monitor, and you guys, as of right this second, can't hear like the nice beautiful stereo coming from my laptop, because I don't know how to set that up properly where I have you being able to hear me talk as well as what's going on through the laptop connected through my GoPro. Yeah, so here's me trying something new and learning as I go. You know, it is what it is. So, yeah, for anyone that's curious, I have a GoPro 13 on a little stand. I have an old ring light, lighten my face up a little bit. This is my little studio. Never see that guitar pick again. Good thing I have another one in my pocket. This is my little music studio. And this is my happy little board, my happy little pedal board. If you happen to follow my other creative identity, Happy Little Boards, this is what I use for that. Soon to be available. I'm gonna actually start making some of these tiny pedal boards and selling them as a way to support my creative life. But yeah, it's a nice little attractive looking 5-pedal board that I love to use. It's just great. Like, it's small enough where you can just leave it set up and it looks nice. So that way you don't have to like feel like you put it away every single time, and it's this big setup thing, and just easy to plug in and get creative quickly, which is the point. But yeah, so I'm going in straight into my recording software, Ooh, is somebody there? Somebody there. Sweet. Hey, Carolyn, you're here. That's amazing. I was not expecting anyone to actually show up, so this is cool. This is a very not ideal setup, but in any case, someone's actually listening. I'm not just talking to myself. What I figured I'd do is maybe make one of these loops that I put into the creative outlet. I thought it would be cool in the future to do this more, where I go live and make loops that then go in to the creative outlet for you guys to, if you're part of that, to use for your own stuff. Because I think I've temporarily stopped digging through my hard drives to find old loops to put up there. So it's time for new stuff, and I thought it'd be cool to work on a system of doing this live so that you can then, you know, interact with me. I don't know if you want to, like, say, give me something in whatever key, or just help me pick pedals to use, or whatever the case may be. If you're specifically looking for a production loop for your stuff, you know, you put in a prompt for me or whatever. So pedal wise, I just threw on some of my faves and a couple of things I don't normally use. I have a stereo delay. It's like it's supposed to sound like a lot of the old analog ones. It's cool. It's from TC Electronics. It's no longer in production. It's called Alter Ego V2. Just a bunch of cool stereo delay sounds. This thing here is a collaboration between the group Churches and the pedal company Old Blood Noise Endeavors. They make weird stuff, usually that's, you know, cool, harsh distortion or reverb, or just weird in general. Very unique things. Happened to pick up a B-stock version of this that they had on sale. So what it is it's a distortion and a reverb in the same thing. You can pick which one goes first, and there's different whatever variations you can use. And the trusty mood pedal. This is the one that has been a part of pretty much every loop that's been on the thing so far in the creative outlet, I would guess. It is made by Chase Bliss Audio. If you are someone that surfs for, you know, weird noises and loop layers and textures and stuff on Splice and whatever else all the time, you can probably find one used for between $350 and the full price of $400. It is well worth it if you are someone that's always looking for layers of things like that, or if you make ambient music or any of that kind of stuff. So I'll just give you a quick example. So there's two sides to it. There's a looper, a micro looper, and then there's another side that has either a reverb or a delay, or this other weird kind of pitchy delay tracking thing. I don't know. It's hard to explain. You kind of just got to spend time with it. You can have the loop go into the effects, or you can have the loop not go into the effects. You can separate stuff. There's a million options. There's all sorts of MIDI stuff you can do. It's endless, truly endless. I still haven't fully got through everything there is to offer, but let me give you a little taste of how quickly you can get something cool. So I'm just gonna play a C chord. This is clean guitar. Let me turn this up so you can hear it better. It's just a C sus2 chord. So I'm just gonna time, or it's called the stretch setting. So that's the stretch. It kind of like time stretches it out. You can adjust how slow it goes, how much of the loop it uses. This is the tape one. And there's another version of the looper where it's like envelope sensitive, so while you play, depending on how like strong you play, it like glitches out the loop and does weird things. I don't use that one a ton for like this kind of stuff, but like in 30 seconds we have like 12 different awesome loop things you can do. And then of course you can also just play on top of that. So let's put some delay on that puppy. Yeah, it's it's a struggle to figure out where the line is between like who cares about the super detailed info and diving into the pedal stuff, or if you just want to make fun noises. So I always struggle with that, like how far in depth with the technological stuff. I will say too, it's funny, and I've said it a million times in different things I've shared online, but there's a whole realm of pedals and things like this that have like digital menus and a lot of like, it's, you know, you'll have a screen and you have to navigate through. I get so uninspired and frustrated, and I don't know, I will, if it's a tool that I definitely think I need to use, I will 100% use those. Let's hope if I close my screen this doesn't shut off the feed. Okay, I think we're still good. The screen stuff, the menus, it drives me nuts. I don't know why, that's just how my brain works. Give me knobs and buttons and switches all day long. I like to just play and turn knobs and this and that, and it's a big struggle with the other kind of stuff. So you'll see that as a theme. Most of the stuff that I use is all you know, just knobs and switches and buttons and things to turn. But alright, so let's get rid of that. Let's see, let's make something that's like let's pick a random key. Let's do what happened? Let's do just E. Let's give it E. We'll do E minor. Okay, so I'm gonna get some kind of long delay time going. And this thing has one where you can add, has two, is like a dotted eighth note and a quarter note or something like that. So I'm gonna play that into this looper. and let's do it on the, let's leave it on the tape one for now. I mean, we can always switch it. I'm also gonna turn on the like effect on this one, on the mood, which will add reverb. So now we've captured that. Now we have this cool background layer. And I think I'm gonna add some like dirt on this puppy. Here. I'm just picking random settings usually with this stuff too. Excuse me 1 second, I have to answer a text message. So yeah, side note, oh nice, Lana Del Rey vibes. Our friends are rehousing their corn snake, and we're getting it, and then getting coordination texts about the corn snake. So now what I can do is, if you hold down the looper button, you can overdub, and it'll kind of apply the looper effects that are already there to what you're overdubbing, so it's not actually going to end up sounding like what I'm doing. What's up? Yes, you may.
Thank you.
I don't even know if I'm gonna even be able to really hear it show up in there. What's up, dude?
Can I whip up some toast and lay down and watch baseball?
Go nuts, man. Summer vacation for the kiddos. Okay. So we have a very cool just vibe going. Now, let's vibe it up even more. This next pedal here is also by the same company that makes the mood. It's called Generation Loss. And what they did is meticulously recreated the effects that happen when you would take old VHS video cassette tapes for the young kids out there. It's like what movies used to be on. It was like audio cassettes, but it was for video. And the different types of machines that they would use to... Basically what it does is it adds broken tape effects to things, and they meticulously modeled like specific things, and then there's different levels of like destruction that you can access. So I'm gonna gonna toss that onto this. So let me just kind of reset everything here. Alright, so that back up to volume. So you can add flutter, which is kind of like the warped, wiggly texture. You can add, they call wow. There's wow and flutter. The wow is more of like the speed variation of the tape. And then there's saturation, which is like distortion. I don't know the scientific explanation for what that is. Basically, it adds it's harmonic saturation, so it's just the audio is like getting blown out. And then there's a failure knob, which adds in like issues that the tape has. And then there's a way to flip through the different models of tape machine. So I like that one. You can add in mechanical noise. I'm not going to do that. You also have the option to add in some of your dry signal, a little bit of your dry signal, or 50-50 of your dry signal and the affected signal. But for this case, I'm just going to record this textural E-drone thing and keep that as a layer recorded in my DAW. You know, it helps if you know what you're doing and you arm these things to record. There we go. So I'm just gonna let 30 seconds or whatever of that record, and then I'm gonna expand on it by playing some stuff over it. To give an option for different variation of the loop. But this is basically, so the stuff I put up there is me sitting and just spending an hour messing around with pedals, making noises. This is how this stuff comes up. And I have endless things that I've created that I record because they're cool. And this is how this all started. I'm never going to use all this stuff. There's certain things that I've set aside that I know like is something, or I've sent it to a friend that I know specifically would use it, but you know, like there's no point in me. I will never stop doing this because it's like healthy for my brain. Anyone. It's just whatever, creative exercise, 100%, and I don't know if it is a blanket statement that it works for everyone, but it definitely eases anxiety for me anyway. It just turns on the right side of my brain. Here, it's like a form of meditation. It does a lot of healthy things for your brain. You're playing like a kid, you know, you're bored coloring on a piece of paper, but grown up musical version, whatever. So I figured that it would be good to do that and share it for the benefit of anyone else that could get something out of it. Okay. So now I recorded that bass layer. Let's record something over it. get something cooking. Oh, I don't want the delay on, and we don't want that on. I also can adjust the amount of mixture of the two things very easily, which is nice. So bring that volume back up so you can hear. So a lot of times too, when I'm not hadn't been thinking of doing this for anyone else's use, if I'm playing chords or anything, I try my best to think of it in terms of something that someone might sample. So if I'm doing chords and it's like a chord progression, I'll make sure that there's separation between the two. I won't play it too fast or whatever necessarily. Just in terms of if somebody wants to chop it up, which I think is great use for stuff like this. So I'm gonna do like a slapback echo here. Let's see. Here, shut that off for a second. Okay, less feedback, faster. That's cool. So let me add in our little vibe in the background. By the way, this last pedal, it's a looper. I actually just threw it on there for kind of a placeholder. I don't think I'm going to use it, but depending on how I'm playing. A lot of times I'll have a looper also, even though this thing's kind of a looper, because then you can like have two loops going. You know, I could make a loop without this mood pedal that sits in here first, that's like a background layer, and then I could mess with, maybe I'll try that in a second. Let me get these chords out. I'll do that, and then I'm probably gonna have to sign off. But in any case, Carolyn, you're here. You're awesome for showing up and letting me know that this actually worked. You know, the chat thing was successful, so even if it blew up right now, it was a win. But anyway, let me get these chords down. I gotta do a couple things on the DAW here. I gotta set up my new tracks. Loop 2. Loop 2. And you know, another thing, I don't know if this is helpful to anyone, but I do separate mono tracks. When I'm recording stereo like this, I do separate mono tracks instead of a stereo track, and that's because I have control over the panning. because sometimes I feel like it's not as wide when I do a stereo track, and I don't know if there's a way to like change the width of the stereo in the DAW. There probably is, but I've never explored that. So in any case, I do 2 mono tracks left and right, and that way I can decide how wide they need to be, and if I need them to be mono, then I just put them both center, and I don't know, it allows me more control to decide. If that's helpful to you in any of your adventures recording, just in case that's useful information, that's what I do. Okay, loop to R. Input 1, input 2, we're all set, and then, oops, why the heck did it move that track there? Okay, there we go. And I gotta mute my initial recording. Alright, so now I'm just gonna play loosely what I was just playing. I'm playing E minor to C and the B, back to C. It sounded cool to me. Maybe somebody will be inspired by it to do something with it. Who knows? It's out of my control. I'm just here to record it because I think it's cool. Record. Try that again. Outs that happen. Alright. Cool. There's another random loop for someone to use. Alright, say goodbye. It's over. I'll never get that back. Now what's happening here? Oh, too much happening. Okay. So we're gonna... You know what? I need to put this down. That's what I need to do, because that would make this go a lot faster. Mute. Control, click, duplicate tracks. There we go. Okay. So real quick, I'm gonna do one other thing. All right, let's experiment here. So let's go get something. mix here. This is a loop on a looper, that little harmonic thing. Now let's go over here and try to do some weird stuff with this. Switch that up to, I'm gonna do tape mode. Give me a second here. Let's see what we can do. So, what you can do, not that. So what we can do now is mess with this. Okay, so we have these two things. We have this. We have this. muddy one. And so, I know this seems like wild, weird stuff, but the way I look at this is, this could be that very low in the mix, behind your whole chorus, like hip hop or alt, like dark alt rock, like some Lana Del Rey thing, some layer for your production that's that magical little thing that you didn't know you needed to put in there. And, you know, I might be crazy for hearing it that way, but when I hear this stuff, that's what I think of. And so what I'm going to try to do is play a few variations that you could take a chunk of and use in, you know, loop it, put it in your thing, whatever. That's how I approach this and why I'm doing it in the first place. Oh, I believe I gotta refresh this. That's the chat thing is the problem here. There we go. Hi, Aunt Laurie. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you commenting. Awesome. I'm so glad that this is actually working out. Thank you. And then this will be, I'll just post this like live feed because it's automatically recording to the GoPro. I'll post this, put this up on YouTube after the fact so anybody can see it. But you're here, that's awesome. Glad this worked. So I'm just gonna record this last thing and then I'm gonna shut this down because I got other stuff going on in life. And yeah, then I'll figure out when I can do this again and try to improve things, and I'll figure out maybe some better audio so you guys can get the full like stereo stuff from what's actually happening here. But in any case, this stuff will get posted to the creative outlet soon, maybe tomorrow, if not over the weekend. So these loops that we made today will be up there and available. I might do these first ones, just throw them out there for free to everyone, so no one has to worry about forking out money for it, just as you know, a bonus incentive for whatever celebration of the first live feed. So in any case, let's hit record and I'm gonna play the knobs like an instrument. And so I'm gonna try to just give chunks of possibilities. So I'll let this play for, you know, whatever, 10, 15 seconds so that there's a stretch of this loop. Switch it up. Take off the flutter stuff. I'll add a little wiggle in there. I'll just randomly dial in some of the harmonic stuff here. used to making videos like this where I'm just recording it and talking, and I keep reminding myself that there is people actually sitting there live listening to this. That's a new thing. But I like it. I enjoy it. Okay, both together. Get a chunk of that. Then I'm probably gonna switch off maybe the effects, the like tape effect here. Give a stretch of time that's unaffected. And maybe we can just mess with the mood. I'll make this a separate loop on the creative outlet. That's cool. Flip this. I don't know what's gonna happen with the pitch on this. There's a knob on this that's like the clock. It like changes the bit rate, and therefore that changes the pitch and time stretches it. So a lot of times I'll sit and go like, get different pitch jumps. Because this one has like plucks in it and it speeds them up, it doesn't necessarily work the best for that. Variation. That's cool. And it's like, so just like side note real quick, I won't go on my huge rant about AI, but like, sure, you could like send a prompt into some AI engine and it'll spit something back like this in an instant. But here's the thing, the exploration part of doing this is why I do this. I don't give a shit about the end result, okay? Like, I don't care about that, or the only reason I care about this is because I just sat here and played with this and explored and found it. Take that away, it means nothing. So fight me on this, but people are always gonna be attracted to exploration, imagination, creativity in this way, and AI will never enjoy the creation for, like, we can't get the joy of exploration from AI, and we will always want that. It's built into that's what part of what makes a human is the curiosity and the exploration. So yes, in some cases it'll take away certain things, but it's not gonna eliminate it. It's not gonna get rid of it. It might make us appreciate it and go to it more. Just saying. End rant. I won't go down the rabbit hole of that. Let's flip this thing on and go nuts one more time here. Let's crank up all the gross knobs here. Destroy this thing. Simulated tape stop. You can adjust how quickly it does it too. Bring it back. Again, there's a cool noise to start off a song, like a rise up. Hit my time. Thank you everybody for being here. This was cool. It worked. I can't believe it. I mean, it did take a few tries to get the live feed to actually start up, but other than that, it was successful. Made some stuff. Back to real life. Thanks for being here. I will see you on the next one. Definitely doing this again. It was fun. Yeah, peace, love, rock and roll. Catch you soon. Bye, everybody.